sort of on different teams. I know Painkiller was on Melatonin or Soft at one point. I believe After Rain might have been somewhere else at one point as well. They've all come from different walks of life and sort of come together. And for that reason, that's probably the only reason I'll give CatJam the tip in this because, CatJam's a pretty tight-knit group. It's pretty hard to break into that if you're not already in it. Like your Gospels, like your Synergies. Um, like CatJam, just another one of those teams where it will probably be hard to break into sets if you're on that team, just because the main blokes have been playing together for so long, and we've got to load in Tavi and Spirit Records Yard, tier 2 balancing, pretty new stuff overall, pretty traditional of course, but no Deli, no DS, only Dead Hard at our disposal, which I think Dead Hard, if you're able to get that Dead Hard off against the Spirit, it kind of can create this awkward playstyle where you're kind of metagaming the DS like you're metagaming you're metagaming the Dead Hard like you're like sort of like you would metagame the DS, bro, on a Billy set or an ST set, I should say. And it's pretty funny, bro, to see like every like teams just every little inch, every little play, because obviously on like an S tier killer, it can be detrimental. It's not too bad, obviously, but you Dead Hard apply. He doesn't really get punished too much unless he's in a certain scenario. He'll just get his rushes back, catch up, and most likely just get down anyway. But on Spirit, bro, if you do get that Dead Hard off, it is a little bit more detrimental. She's not as strong anymore. I think she's like a top 7 killer, maybe at this point. Which from being in that top 3, top 4 back in the day is quite a fall from grace, Harvey, I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, Spirit is kind of getting phased out of the current power levels of the game, even though she's still got pretty much exactly the same kit, pretty much exactly the same add-ons, and like pretty much exactly the same build from like years ago. They're just like, like the meta's just changed over time, and we've got like more and more perks, maybe just like buffs, perhaps, maybe like nerfs to killer. I've just, pushed it back. Also, new killer releases, of course, like Dracula and Kaneki. Just pushed it back into a more like reserve spot. And yeah, I think 80 is alright. And we do find a chase here at 7 onto Hades. Hades, I do recognize his name from one of the some of the 1v1 events that I've casted. And he takes a very fast M1 here, and that's probably not what they want, because it is going to be an immediate phase. You can see here Maya's trying to take advantage of that M1, and Hades has to duke this out. Does manage to make the edge map work though, so not really too bad for the first chase, considering that he got M1'd at like Shallow 9. So it's going to make that topside death spot, and maybe deny a pain raise here for the first hook. But it seems like Maya might, she might drag this to this deep top area, and first pain res pretty early on, I think, is a nice start for CatJam. And getting into this, I think, with the matchup anyway, I last season, there's like one chase that stood out to me this entire time, and it was Smunk, I believe, on the Vecna, and we had Gaffy on the Nia, and she just went for this like 1.5 minute chase on like one health state. So honestly, CatJam, if they've been scrimming, which I'm sure they have been, they can definitely put up a very, very tough matchup here for Pay Money to My Pain, which, again, I don't know the players too well on them, but I do recognize Hades and Painkiller for some of the events. So that's the first Anho coming through. We do see the Sprint Burst player just like stealthing away, and that's an immediate for the people. So Drums, I think we're going to be seeing like some second win altruism here.
Yeah, I mean, that'll probably put After Rain in the hot seat for a second win off the hook. You're exactly right. And I got a lot of respect and love for CatJam. A few of their players I've known for a little bit. Never really been too formal, but his Maya does get blinded there. I do have a lot of big heart for Maya. I think she's in terms of DBD aspect, of course, pretty similar. We both started out as survivors and ventured into killer, and I'm always happy to see her play and almost like a progress report in a sense. But no, she always does really, really well every time she plays killer. Every time. There's not a time I don't watch her play killer where I'm not just in awe and admiration of how she plays the game. And yeah, what you were saying before, bro, bloody Gaffy as well. Yeah, oh, even Gaffy, the stuff we saw last week from Gaffy. Jesus, she single-handedly carried the team. In terms of, just giving them as much time as possible. Yeah, definitely the two star players on the team, I have to admit as well. But yeah, we're going to see down foresight pop. Pretty unlucky. I think Mayor wanted that down before that gem pop to the eruption. But yeah, you don't get everything you want in life, of course. But nah, yeah, definitely. Like I said, got a lot of respect overall for CatJam. But yeah, pay money to my pain though. New team, like I said, old boys, new faces, new threads. But yeah, Hades, Painkiller, After Rain, all pretty familiar faces. Santana would be the only one I don't actually 100% recognize prior to OSL Season 4, but yeah, they've left a great impression. Pay Money to My Pain is a great team. They're pretty fluent in the way they play the game, and you know, CatJam are pretty, identical in some ways. They also are pretty fluent, pretty resilient in a lot of aspects, but I think May is just choosing to camp the bro out here. Doesn't really have like a choice to leave. I'm not assuming that the
This
gen.
hill, what is this hill? Look at like, she's got like vision of like every generator here. That's crazy, dude. This is
This is
like the best setup possible.
this is quite a good intuition Tavi, I reckon. Right. This is my thoughts on this. She saw the gen pop her 4, and she took on the next most active. She knows that there's no other gen progress, so she's just choosing the city. Doesn't even want to venture to the other side of the map. I think it's still interesting. We do get the trade there as well onto Hades, but yeah, no, I think that was an interesting choice. I would have, she got sloppy, so I would have liked to maybe see her play a bit more aggressive. If I was going to critique anything that she's doing in this game, which I don't really think I can. She's playing it pretty well, but yeah, I would, I like to see. Oh, beautiful phase! That time that's going to be so quick as well. But yeah, I'd like to see her. I'd like to see her play aggressive, and that's exactly why. You see what I mean, Tavi? Like she has the ability to get the downs, bro, really quickly. She's good at Spirit, really, really good at Spirit, and their Survivor team was also really good at Spirit. So yeah, I think after that tunnel out Stavros, that's probably put them in a really peculiar. Yeah, I mean, it's put Pay Money to My Pain in a peculiar position. 3v1 is it? I feel like this is a little bit early for a 3v1 against Spirit.
It seems early for sure, but again, I've gotta like keep on adjusting my mindset. Like, a lot of the time I would have like expected Tunnel Out Ada, so Hades, to go for like a decisive strike play into like some ridiculous like balanced landing to make cross map distance and get away safely. But here, she just gets tunneled out and Jake gets tagged. Maya leaves this. Good awareness here, I think, because that was like a chase in a pretty safe area, even though it was an injured. Yeah, they do find the Claudette here, and this is a much better hook location, because, yeah, again, if Maya can secure that hill hook, I don't know how Survivor's going to get out of this generator shop, and Hades definitely won't make this. Sorry, not Hades. Afterrain definitely won't make this vault here on the truck, but it seems like Painkiller is going to get this topside gen done, I believe, so that's going to make it at least a 4k1 for Pay Money to My Pain. So that's really, really well played. That's the patience coming through from Survivor side, going for that really late unhook and doubling that topside gen means that it gets done before the pain res and the eruption and the regression comes in. So yeah, suddenly like just like that, I feel like they have a much better chance, and a nice little champion of light tech coming through by Painkiller. That's also another like one of the small like power creep things, charms that comes through for Spirit, which it's not really talked about a lot, but it can be extremely significant. I believe I saw Xena do it first of all, but yeah, Maya's still in a solid spot here. Painkiller gets away with the health state, and yeah, it's like all the generators are still pretty much within that eyesight range of the hill. But Painkiller, I believe, has gone for an aggressive unhook, which is gonna pay out dividends. After Rain does have that second win for the people combination, which we saw before. So even though Painkiller is gonna get hooked here, for sure Santana is gonna sit on a generator, and Maya's actually leaving both of our survivors here. That's a very interesting decision. Knowing that Jake has live, he's actually nearly pre-left that, so he's not going to be able to make it too far out, but that's still really good awareness, and they're going to get 2 resets for this down on Jake, which I'm assuming it will happen, but the live play will come through. It's just like the live mind games. He gets away! Oh my god, and Maya does not have the down here, so this could be really bad jumps. This could be really, really bad. I think she needs to leave this.
I would argue the opposite, baby boy. I think she needs to just full commit this right now. She's got a pain res on the bro, if I'm not mistaken. She gets the pain res down. They've just reset, right? And we know by default that's painkiller has to reset with Santana. I mean, we don't know this for sure, but you can kind of assume it. There's no med kit. Perks like inner strength are allowed, of course, but you can kind of assume. Well, we're looking very, very close to this locker here. But no, yeah, that's. She's been able to pull it back there. I would agree with you on your statement when you said it was an interesting choice to leave them both topside. I agree there on that aspect. I think maybe she would have time to commit. We do see a spectator bug coming through on the side of our killer here. We do see an FTP as well
Wow.
onto our Claudette Stavros. So. Yeah, I mean, not the best decision, I don't think. She's not pain res. We do make that. Maya's gonna have to phase right back onto the bro's head here. This is a great death location for after rain as well. And oh, we've just lost him in the source a little bit, and Maya's gonna have to choose to break this pallet after using her whole phase. And yeah, I know this game's pretty back and forth right now. Maya was pretty looking strong when it started off, but I think Pay Manning to my pain have recovered very, very nicely. Losing in the source a little bit. She's going to get the down. Um, I wonder if that gen will pop in the background. It may just pop, but she's going to be able to get this hook.
God.
About 50.
Oh my god.
I'm not sure what Santana's doing. I think Santana might just be stealth down. Oh my god, he's not in the best spot, I'll be honest. He's close, which is good, but oh, he's down deep 6. It's actually not a bad spot. I apologize. I thought he was up 9 side. But yeah, no, that's a good spot. Maya's going to have to. Oh, second wind off the hook, Stabby. So, all those FTPs, working out. And if whoever's on this gen is just stealths up a little bit, it could be over for Maya. She could just end with, the stages that she has.
That's actually kind of getting scary for me. I agree, because with this reset coming through, now suddenly you've got like the swim burst player who is pretty much safe wherever you put them, and the aggressive player now who's Death Hook, who's healed up, also has a dead hard. Mayor probably can guess that based off the FTP. That's fine painkiller though. But Sontaya, the other survivor who you could possibly go for, they're also the light and quick and quiet, so they're more difficult to find after that vault. So. Painkiller's gonna take the M1 here. That's a really important tag coming through, and I think is just gonna potentially get 2 tapped. No, this pallet is available, so it's just gonna bet a little bit more time and go down. But that's still a really, really good find here for Mayo, because that's a spin burst survivor. That's the slippery fish. That's the catch you want, and it's also the pain res that Mayo wants here, because that's going to secure this generator. Absolutely does not pop here. Before that hook. So you can see our survivors stealth away quickly, just to try and make it more difficult for Mayor to find them. But actually, wow, Mayor's going for a bit of a pre-search around the generator, so good awareness here. I'm not going to find anyone though, because I think the Claudette after rain was edge map, and you can see the gen is still aggressing, so no up to there either. But yeah, again, I still feel like it's a solid spot for our survivors, like a strong position. There's an unhook from our Jake most likely, and Claude is probably going to sit the gen again, so it's like a ticking timer that's going away from Maya. Like, she needs it down quickly. She didn't have eruption on the generator either, so that's going to be not ideal, but it's going to be at least an M1 here, because our Jake is kind of out of resources. So it comes down to this chase. I'm again kind of scared, because pay money to my pain. They obviously know what they're doing. They obviously have the rotations in. They could have been doubling the generator, but no, after rain's the only one here, so that might just mean, again, like 2 resets in the background. After rain is Death Hook though, with the dead hard though, so potentially can make something happen, but I don't think that gen is popping jumps, but this dead hard's not gonna go through. It was a good try, but again, perhaps like the ping is gonna make it more difficult. So good try. After rain is gonna die on this hook, but that generator again, maybe they're just doubling it. They haven't reset, so yeah, maybe they get it done. Oh, they've decided to leave it. Okay, good decision there, but it must have been really, really close. That was a really good try from Pay Money to my pain. Now they're both injured though, Jams. I don't think they can really stealth away from the spirit, right? I don't think they can jet on.
Yeah, I mean, No, overall, bro, it was pretty good from the side of CatJam's killer. Mayor, of course, she just played so well, and Paymoney to my pain looked like they were going to bring it back with the 1-2 combo, and nah, she was able to sustain it and get a 4K one, which is a pretty strong result these days on the Spirit. Like this is very commendable, and yeah, I mean, really well played. She just capitalized on things she needs to capitalize on. Did make a maybe like a tiny error in that mid game by leaving as we were sort of yapping about before Bulla, but no, other than that, the chases were quick. The decision making was beautiful. Overall, just beautiful gameplay, beautiful stuff. And yeah, it was just very lovely to witness because they kind of need a strong performance overall. I think they have a lot of potential to do well, and they've had a pretty stroke of bad luck or bad games, and yeah, overall just this is a great result. This is a bloody great result if you're a CatJam fan, which I am. But things to look out, for if you pay money to my pain. I definitely think he's looked good this set. If you're on the Survivor side, I definitely think he's looked good. He didn't look flawed. He's looked coordinated. I think it was just a case of making maybe a wrong decision or two that unfortunately for payments my pain, Mayor was able to capitalize. Uh, a bit of catch them, especially the main guys over there. Love Mayor, love Fizz. They're always good to chat to. But yeah, pay money to my pain. What we're looking for here, big fellows, we're going to need a quick chase. Obviously, you're going to need to get lucky and not find DS. Ideally, you catch Sprint Burst early, which is Fizz in this situation. She does have the champion a lot, so maybe you don't want her. Maybe you just got to, you got to catch out someone that's not that hard, and you got to, play your cards really, really well here. And, the tunnel out needs to be early. It needs to be at like 2 or 1, 2 or 3 even. And for that to happen, you need to put catch in positions where they're going to make mistakes, which pretty rare. As we see, I believe this might be Bam. I'm not actually too sure who this is. This is why I stress for people to please run their names, their proper names, so I actually know who you are, so I can give you the credit that you deserve, and also to make the refs' life a little bit easier because freakysuitball.com. I'm not too sure who that is, Tavi. Do you know who that is?
It's got to be Bam, right? Looking at this chase, it's got to be Bam. That was like a beautiful stun, beautiful GG to follow up, and it takes an M1 1 minute into the crop. So I feel like this chase is going to last much longer than the previous chase. That's a nice last second dodge from Lori. Remember, this is on ping. Remember, our survivors are on ping on both sets, so that 4K1 is going to have to be met with 4K1 on ping from CatJam. It's going to be a death for Aloy, but it is, again, a very deep hook, which is going to be forced from Santaya. So that's the first generator done. They actually managed to double track here, and that's progress as well on the solo gen. So yeah, CatJam set themselves up really, really nicely here in this upcoming trial to get 4K1. I think this is a very, very strong start for them. Considering the amount of gen progress they've done, and Santaya kind of has to pick up the game here, because if Lobby, who I'm assuming is Bam, if they go for like similar chases while they're getting tunneled out, it's going to be extremely difficult to hold a 4K1 win condition for Santaya. But they're trying their best. They're playing aggressive here, trying to get the progressions on the generators. There's the first kick coming through, and yeah, Santaya actually decides to phase and go for the tag instead. So fresh hooks is the game plan for Santaya, and seems like they've completely lost our survivor here, so that is not good. That's the reset as well coming through from Will Make It, and yeah, I hate to say it, John, but it's looking really heavily in CatJam's favor. So I guess hate to say it if you're a paid money by pain fan, but if you're a CatJam fan, this is going to be one set and one of the very much needed group points to try and go qualify for the top in the group stage. So yeah, again, I don't like to say it early, but it already seems extremely difficult for Santaya in this spot. So I don't know, some kind of magic will have to happen, and I don't know if CatJam's gonna allow those kind of mistakes to occur. So yeah, yeah, even like really nicely done here. Oh my god, what the hell?
Sort of getting spun there on his boots by the big tree. Well played to her. She's all the way down 5, big fella. I'm not sure what you're doing up here mid map, but Yeah, no, definitely well played. I think you're right, Tavi. I think, they're not, he's not really in a position where he can go for our Laurie again, which is a bit unfortunate because, he kind of needs, a pain res or, something to slow the game down, just a bit of pressure. And, that down, obviously getting that eruption and, toppling that with a pain res is what he's going to need. But Tree, oh, golly gosh, just making this chase last so long as well. And that's going to be the gen popping all the way over in the other corner. And, oh my golly, it is. Oh, look at that gen pressure on the side of bloody Team CatJam. That is amazing stuff. And unfortunately, Fizz is going to get pushed off her gen here, and she's going to have to play a bit safer. But this is the level of pre-stealthing that you sort of need, right? This is what you're expected to do when you versus Spirit. Look at this, right? He goes up the map, he kicks. Right, she's predicted that he's going to come all the way up and kick this just from the hook location, right? Mind you. Now she's all the way back there. She's denied chase. Now she's made this game even harder for the bro. Now he's trying to bait her in here. He's actually done a really good job. He's trying to see if he can find her. Maybe overcommitting. Maybe she's not in a good position. But no, unfortunately for Santana, he just Fizz put herself in an amazing position there. And as a result of that, you've got a bloke who's popping down the gen down deep six. Now it's now the issue that Santana finds himself in is he has to go defend this gen, and the bro just to deep six can just walk right in and get the pull for free, Tavi. So it's just beautiful stuff. It's just beautiful stuff from CatJam. It's really, really traditional, methodical stuff, and you know the gen split is beautiful as well. Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna see Tree just go seconds here. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Go let her go seconds. They're just he's just camping it. Like, look, no one, they're not even near it. They're not even near it. They do not care about Tree on this hook. So, yeah, I mean, assuming, unfortunately, our Laura is going to be FTP. So, maybe not going to be able to get the FTP onto Tree here. But, Tree is going to have a last chase and going to have potential to be able to do something here. Yeah, it's just rough for Santana. He's got nothing going for him right now at all, really. Just nothing. He's got a hook sort of in his gens, but he can't play for it realistically. I think if they stack, they hop the gen before she dies. So yeah, just again, that just speaks to how well played this was by CatJam, killer and survivor side.
Yeah, I can see like a very noticeable difference in terms of like results from the killer side. I feel like Santalia just like um perhaps missing like one or two phases at the start of the game, which it doesn't sound like much, but one or two phases is in fact the amount of phases you need to get the first down. So missing like, I believe there was like a statistic where like if you go for like a full phase or like a full 5 second phase and you miss it, there's like an extra like 15 to 30 seconds on the side of survivors, which is insane. And you see here the advantage that CatJam has gotten from those chases is going to pay off. Getting that final gen done will mean that they take the victory here in the first set. Having a bit of looping with friends, nice to see here on the jungle gym area. But yeah, well played to CatJam. I feel like that was a very very what's the term for it? I don't know. I'm just like losing my English sometimes. A very demanding win. It's like very strong performance here on Wrecker's Yard, and you have to see what they can do on Nurse. I think the S tiers are going to be very solid though, considering we saw again like the patience coming through from both our survivors on the top sides and the bottom sides between the hooks. Like we saw the extreme patience coming through with that hook. Yeah, I think Nurse is going to be a very tough, difficult contest coming up in the next set. So I believe that will secure the third stage for Sontaya onto Mercy, but I don't think that is going to. Yeah, that's just gonna make it 7 stages. So 7 stages is still like an alright performance, I think. From what I have experienced, I think like 9 stages is what I'd say is more average. But again, like
If we see outs either. So as it's sort of like the theme of what I was saying before, big fella, it's more just comes down to what decisions get made in the moment, which is pretty grey statement to make, of course, but
oh
legacy nurse, but pretty cool.
oh my god. That is a legacy nurse. I was just gonna point out to you all out there, this player has been playing, or okay, I'm not gonna say the other the other potential. But this player's been playing for quite a long time in the game, and you can see here the Nurse Blinks very on point, gets a nice 2-tap onto Maya. Unfortunate about the stealth there, and yeah, just gonna get a first hook right away, and this is a great start for our Nurse. So I think talking about like results, I think we saw oh my gosh, there's Iron Glass value coming through as well. Getting this mid hook is gonna be insane, but it's gonna be close. I mean, Maya does not make it off, and that's an Iron Glass hook coming in. So really good value coming in on the Suffer 2 combine as well. Anyway, that was a bit of a sidetrack. Talking about results, I think I saw like Mr. X-Tap get a 4K4 last week. So on Nurse, honestly, nothing's gonna surprise me in terms of like high-end results. Low-end results, I think is a lot more rare, but it's definitely possible. I think the mental mind games for the Nurse player can really grind them down and get them to a bad game. But it seems like Thank You's in form right now, has a beautiful hook here, and is going to be able to protect this topside 3-gen, which I was discussing with Mike, I think, last week. It is one of the more difficult 3-gens to break in all the realms. So we'll see here. Maya's probably just going to hit second. Maybe someone comes in at the last minute to get down hook, but seems like no one's around here, so I'll be pretty surprised though if CatJam leaves this, because I feel like they just need to try and make a desperate hook play here, but no, they're all sitting on gens, and also talking about the survivor side, I did make a mistake. It is not in fact a BAM on the lorry, and I was also reading one comment from like 10 minutes ago, which is now delivered. Now it is yeah, it is not BAM. Got like confirmation. It is the player name Swede. So I'm not very familiar with that name, Drums. Perhaps you are more familiar, but yeah, I have no idea. They definitely put up a great show in the first trial though. 2 gens pop though, so it's nice to secure that for our survive side. But still, Maya is dying on the hook, and I feel like they can't leave this fight, Drums. They have to pull this. They can't. They need this. They need their perks going.
Yeah, exactly right. Apologies for that as well. Yeah, no, I'm not too sure who that is, Tavi, but yeah, they did have a great first chase on the Spirit. But yeah, no, a bit of a unfamiliar name to me as well. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, you know, fits right into CatJam's style pretty well. Played pretty well last set, I'd say. But yeah, we're gonna take this chase on the Mayor, and she's gonna get a little locker juke here. Hopefully she's DS, but I don't think she is DS. We are gonna make the pallet. Really good pathing from Mayor actually. Oh, we were trying to bait out the blinks there. Maybe she had DS on the build, but yeah, I think that's gonna be.
Boom.
Oh, she does have DS too.
Boom.
Did she just used her life a bit early for no reason? And that's a bit of a blunder from Maya, because now she's not going to be able to make any distance at all. Unironically though. Oh, that's a bit rough if you're on the side of CatJam. But Tavi, you were saying in the background before, you know, we need to pull this, and I would agree, but look at this gen pressure they have. This is why I tell all the young experienced teams, you don't need to just fucking willy-nilly pull, bro. You do not need to willy-nilly pull. Just let bros cook and hang. Let them hang. Pre-stealth. And this is the results you can get. Sure, May is dead. And, you know, credit to her, I know she won't mind me saying this, but the chases weren't amazing. Obviously, it's a nurse. It's not supposed to be amazing, true? No one's asking you to have
oh my God.
chase of the season, bro. But, you know, the fact that she was able to... Well, sorry, I shouldn't say she. They were able to recognize the camp early on and just sit gens the whole time. This is why they're in the position they're in. There's a resilient factor that CatJam have. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. And yeah, now they get a good gen split because of it. It's not the best gen split I've ever seen in my life, don't get me wrong, but it's, you know, okay. I mean, it's actually pretty shit now that I think about it, but I've seen definitely worse on this map, and this is, if from what I've seen in the past, this looks breakable if you have the skill level of CatJam, which, you know, they're putting Thank You on the back foot right now. Thank You's a good nurse, by the way. You see those 2 chases, Tavi? They were pretty quick, bro. Pretty quick. So his mechanics are there. He's actually just opting to sit in the middle, hold the blink, and wait for a free tag, which I don't think you'll get. Good jiggy there from our Laurie as well. So nicely played.
Thank You also notice this generator split is so strong, and it kind of creates like the reverse mind games as well. So it's like the killer, like Thank You, they don't want to commit too far unless they're gen pop, but at the same time if you're just gonna be trying to go for these very easy tags onto our survivors, perhaps that will not be so easy on against a team such as CatJam, you know, who's just gonna pre-stealth away from this, especially on ping. You definitely have to, like, as soon as the nurse literally looks in the direction of the generator, you start running. So CatJam definitely gonna play this one extremely safely. Thank you is kind of in the driver's seat here, as you know, the survivors have this obvious game plan of doubling the gen as soon as humanly possible to get the generator completed. And yeah, thank you again is always going to be worried about this generator popping. And you can see here, though, they are deciding to commit this chase here onto this wall here. And again, this beautiful, beautiful double back, perfectly timed from Swede, allegedly Swede, because again, I still have no idea who this player is, but they're gonna get one blink, two blinks, sorry, through the trees here, and it's gonna be the down coming through. No, actually, they make more distance away, and this is so much time being bought for our survivors on the other side of the map to try and get this generator done. They are running back into the map, though. I don't know if I agree with this decision. That's a eruption coming through, but the generator is nearly complete. Just this is out. I don't think Thank You gets back in time. Even if they do, the generator is just gonna pop in the face, and we're looking at 3 stages on the board secured for our nurse. So extremely well played to our survivors here. That was just really good capitalization. Is that a term? Really good capitalize on nurse there. Perhaps like that second chase on Mayo took a bit too long, but like holy shit, they managed to break that regen and like just like a blink of an eye, it is completely gone. They're gonna secure another down here onto Fizz though, but it is perhaps likely we see an unbreakable coming through. No, it is on our Nia, so you see the rotation come in for the pickup instead. So I didn't pay attention to where the gates are, Jams, but I'm sure they can definitely out this CatJam because they still have Deliverance in the back pocket. You see here Lowy has got the Deliverance. They've got the Unbreakable on Nia, so surely we've also got an additional hold state coming through from the reset. So surely this is out here, even though these gates perhaps aren't the best. Like surely this is out, and that would be an incredible set performance. And yeah, maybe CatJam even takes a 2-0 here. I don't know. Perhaps talking a bit too soon, but 6 stages is an extremely good performance against the nurse, and I don't know. Maybe CatJam have gotten this set like being perhaps like the underdogs, like with the set losses in the previous weeks. But look at this again, 6 stages, beautiful result, and just like a handful of bad chases. Handful means like the majority, by the way, because like it's kind of like a snowball thing. Like one bad chase means that you're gonna have less chases in total, because like the probably more gens are gonna pop, and then they might get outs. So like yeah, it's like one bad chase for Gaffy, especially perhaps like at the start of the match, could set the mental and the I guess set the way for Pay Money to My Pain into the 6-stage 5-stage win con for them, and Gaffy's 6-stage win con 3 first. So yeah, I think this start here is gonna have to look really strong for Pay Money to My Pain. There's gonna be Sontaya being found first, so not the best. I think they had a medkit, so they're gonna double back just in time, and that's a nice little juke here around the rocks. Again, using that edge map beautifully to evade the blinks and to evade line of sight will Sontaya, and they're just staying around this 4 lane actually. Not 4 lane, RL. And they're just gonna play this out in this corrupt, so perhaps take the 1 blink here, unfortunate with the ping coming through, and that's, I think, light being popped to make it all the way to this topside edge map. But no, they actually decide to play this out. I'm surprised that our Jake is not going to the edge map. I don't think they make the distance here, but no, they've miscalculated. Gaffy went a slightly bit too short here. We'll get this down here on main building surely, now that Jake's close enough, but still this chase is going on. Maybe there's a power save coming through, but it seems like our Jake is just running through, and he makes even more distance here. Wilson Tire makes it back to the main building inside, and Gaffy's blinks have to recharge, so this is a good amount of time here for the first generator.
I think Tavi's PC's getting a bit excited, but yeah, still going. This chase finally does go down. Big Santana as well, but yeah, just gonna choose to pick. Pretty solid overall chase from Santana, but yeah, this is gonna be Gaffy's first hook. I'll be interested to see what she decides to do. If she opts to, you know, venture out, venture away, get a couple hook stages going, but No, it was all a pretty good chase. That double, it's 2 gens for her first chase essentially as well. Um, so Penman's not putting themselves in quite a good position to actually be able to do something here. Um, Overall though, I don't see too much strife, too much stress that Gaffy should be in right now. She should be chilling. She probably, yeah, she's going to continue this chase on Santana. She's going to choose the tunnel, which I would definitely choose, say is a good option at this point. Unfortunately, not able to catch the BT on the 10. We're gonna have to wait for those 2 charges on the blinks, and Santana's giving quite a lot of distance, holding and like sort of a diagonal formation, and against the nurse, I would always sort of just hold forward. I wouldn't really double back sort of throwing most of the time. You got to have like an advantageous sort of move, but I don't know. If Santana was going for that there, I think he might have thought he'd break LOS, but like Gaffy playing this well, and she's gonna get a tag on the Hades now as well. So if I was her, I would just be committing this chase every day of the month, grab this hook, put him up on the hook, and beautiful. I think she'll do that as well. So she shouldn't slug this. She should definitely pick. She's going to pick. So this is a great decision, I think. And we're gonna choose the reset instead of FTP in the background. Which is tough shit. I'll be completely honest. We were going to FTP, I think, in a strife of panic, but we're choosing to reset anyway. We actually did waste a little bit of time there, and we ended up using FTP anyway just to save ourselves a little bit of extra strife. But
That was
yeah, hopefully we
deliverance, right?
can. Hey,
That was deliverance, right, John?
and I
From
believe that was.
Hades.
I believe that was Deliverance or FTP.
I think that was deliverance coming through, but anyway, I don't know. It's still like all right for pay money to my pain, right? Even though this chase is around main, it's another fresh. It's still like it's still winnable. It's still winnable, right?
Yeah, because it's a 6 stage 2 fresh, I believe, one con.
5 stages, 3 fresh. With this fresh coming in, there will be 4 stages, and that means that Gaffy could actually just count this out, um, to secure victory for CatJam. So, yeah, with this special coming in now, pay money to my pain in a little bit of a situation because they need to unhook this, otherwise they lose a set and lose the series. And if they don't send in the death, one of the death hooks or one of the already hooked survivors. Actually, no. If they send in Hades, Hades just gonna get hooked. They're gonna be in the same spot as before. Since Hades had deliverance, probably unlikely it's like DS as well. But then if they send in the death hook, then they're just gonna die. But they need to do that because again, otherwise they will just lose a set from this death on the hill. So death on hook. So despite the good gen progress, pay money to my pain, yeah, still in a very tough spot here. And yeah, if you're just checking around, I'm surprised it's just not the face cam coming through, but I guess aware that maybe someone is around here. So yeah, they got the resets in the background though, and the gens are looking a bit heavy on the top side, I will have to say, but a little bit heavy. Okay, I take that back. It is like one of the more ridiculous 3 gens that could possibly exist on this map. But yeah, with this Cindy going second stage, Jams, that means that Pay Money to My Pain are already at the win con, or the tie condition in terms of hooks. Tycon pretty well. They're at the win con, meaning that they need to like unhook to win, and if they don't, they just lose. So, I don't know. Again, Gaffy's just like face camping this. Knows the win con, knows that their teammates are just there supporting that decision, and I don't really know if there's anything that Pay Money to My Pain can do here. They have to try like some kind of double unhook, but I just don't. It's a nurse. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, pretty well played from Gaff. That will be the 2-0 to catch him. I was expecting maybe a 2-1 in this scenario. Stavros, I'll be completely honest. But we are choosing to pull right on the bro. We actually do get it for 1 as well, which is beautiful to see. And I think Gaff is going to one-blink this down. So if that wasn't the win before, it's going to be the win now, 100%. We're just choosing to slug anyways onto Cindy. And what has happened there?
Old Dead Hard has returned to Dead by Daylight jobs. That's true. That's so nice. Painkiller actually might be able to call them palace, so still like dreams perhaps alive. No, okay, with this down perhaps they've been extinguished, but Painkiller gets picked up at least, so Gaffy's still gonna slog. Again, our survivors still need to go for the like flashlight save, or I think Cindy had a firecracker, so it's not possible. But I think our ace does have to play aggressive for flashlight save because that final stage will spell the win for CatJam coming through, and they still need to somehow get another gen done to just pay money to my pain. So Gaffy is still a little bit caught here, trying to force out the flashlight, but he's gonna pick now. I think it is gonna be safe. There's not enough time for Spit Burst to recover. So yeah, CatJam take this 2-0, and from what I expected, I think they've just excelled and taken this with a very convincing win here.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Stavros was very, very convincing. We are gonna just get this end game cooking and going. Yeah, well played to CatJam though. That's gonna be their first win. So they will move up above. I think they're moving to third now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They'll actually move above Paymoney's My Pain, if I'm not mistaken, because Paymoney's My Pain 2-1. By the mathematicians, I believe if you're 2-0, it's just better for you, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but overall, no, well played to CatJam. Either way, this is going to get them back into things, the swing of things. They do have more favourable matchups for them later coming on. They do have a matchup against Source coming up. Obviously, that one's not too favourable, of course, but they do have the other teams in their group, or the other team in their group as well, who has sort of been the team that everyone gets a freebie off, unfortunately. I think that's one of the more inexperienced teams within the group, unfortunately, which just happens. A couple of groups in each team, a couple of teams in each group, so I should say, have have struggling teams. It just happens. It's the way of life. It's the way of sport. And even the biggest leagues in the world have struggling teams. And yeah, I mean, it's not to say they'll struggle forever. I'm sure the come up will come, the grind will come. Fogbound have a lot of good killer mains and a lot of good players on their team, as well as Ascendants who sort of fit this sort of theme as well. They have good killer mains, they have good potential. Clown Crew, love Clown Crew, beautiful stuff. Just all those teams that a bit unluckier when it comes to like the result side of the page. And yeah, other than that stuff, 2-0 to CatJam here. It really is beautiful stuff to see, but we've got one more matchup after this, big fella. We've got the big Zetsubo versus Omen. You got any predictions for that one?
Well, I'm going to start off by saying, like, by default, whoever Zetsubo play against, I'm going to assume that they have a favored matchup. But at the same time, Omen, they've got the experience as well to potentially contest that, and again, potentially contest some of the sets that come into play, which I'll have to check in a bit what they are, because I've just been a little bit focused on the games casting right in front of your eyes. But again, I would say as usual, Zetsubo have a favored matchup. I do like how Zetsubo, they have like taken on a couple of new players. I do actually, if any of you all remember old Too Savage, they've kind of like gone a bit of down the windy road, picked up a couple of new recruits, and yeah, made what could even be like a team that could rival or be better than old Too Savage. So I think like I like how they've done that. We were talking about how like CatJam also did something similar, quotation mark, something similar. But yeah, it's good stuff. Omen, of course, you've got the admins and commissioners and owners of Oceanic Sacrificial League. So again, a lot of experience coming through. Again, I have to check the sets to get a proper prediction coming through.